And the truth is, I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
Let Jimmy Kimmel rot. The U.S. President Donald Trump is furious. This is after comedian and American television host Jimmy Kimmel returned to the ABC network after nearly a week-long suspension. Trump lambasted the ABC network for reinstating Kimmel's late-night show, accusing him of political bias. In a highly criticized public post on Truth Social, Trump asked ABC, "Why would you want someone who is not funny and play 99% positive Democrat garbage?" The U.S. president also threatened to slap a lawsuit on what he says is a true bunch of losers. In the past, Trump's administration used threats, lawsuits, and federal government pressure to try to exert more control over the media industry. In fact, Trump sued ABC and CBS over news coverage and filed defamation lawsuits against the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. The Kimmel Show was suspended last Wednesday following his comments on the assassination of Trump aide Charlie Kirk. Kimmel joked about President Trump's reaction to Kirk's killing, comparing it to how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. Kimmel has remained publicly silent on his suspension. On Tuesday, he posted a picture of himself with the late TV producer and free speech advocate Norman Lear on Instagram with a caption of "Missing this guy today." Kimmel has been a relentless critic of Donald Trump in his comedy. He had suggested that many Trump supporters were trying to capitalize on Kirk's death and were desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. Later, Trump-appointed Federal Communications Commission Chairman Brendan Carr said it appeared that Kimmel was trying to directly mislead the American public with his remarks about Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old Utah man charged with Kirk's killing. Kimmel's suspension had also triggered a national discussion about freedom of speech. Hundreds of entertainment luminaries, including Tom Hanks, Barbra Streisand, and Jennifer Aniston, signed a letter calling ABC's move a dark moment for freedom of speech in the U.S.
Even though I don't agree with many of those people on most subjects, some of the things they say even make me want to throw up. It takes courage for them to speak out against this administration, and they did, and they deserve credit for it, and thanks. But one thing I did learn from Lenny Bruce and George Carlin and Howard Stern is that a government threat to silence a comedian the president doesn't like is anti-American. That's anti-American. And I am so glad we have some solidarity on that from the right and the left and from those in the middle like Joe Rogan. Maybe the silver lining from this is we found one thing we can agree on, and maybe we'll even find another. This puts them at risk. The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke. He was somehow able to squeeze Colbert out of CBS. Then he turned his sights on me, and now he's openly rooting for NBC to fire Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers and the hundreds of Americans who work for their shows who don't make millions of dollars.